March 14th, 2017. Notice has been duly printed and posted. Roll call.
Mayor Joe Chilson.
Here.
Jim Benash.
Here.
Jim Bilecki.
Here.
Barry Bloomquist. Jim Olson.
Here.
Harvey Bertrand.
Here.
Bob Muth.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Jared, could you turn me down a little bit? Thank you. Okay, public input. Anyone wishing to give public input, please step to the podium, state your name, address, and you have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Patty Knack. I live at 319 Locust Street, right here in Onalaska. I just want to come and say thank you for serving. I'm sure many times it's a thankless job, but I want to thank you for the hours that you put in that people don't see. And I'm just going to ask God's wisdom and His hand to rest on you, that you have divine direction for the best outcome for Onalaska. Father, I thank you for these men and women that serve. I ask that you would place your hand upon them and give them your divine and absolute wisdom on the decisions before them tonight and the things that they have to face in the coming days and weeks. I thank you for giving them your wisdom and the best outcome for this city in Jesus' name. Bless them for their service. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to give public input? Second call, anyone wishing to give public input? Third and final call, anyone wishing to give public input? That portion is now closed. Report from the mayor. I have a resolution tonight and no library statistics because they didn't get them to me this time. So I will read the resolution number 17-2017. Close the loopholes that shift a greater property tax burden from commercial to residential homeowners. Whereas homeowners in Wisconsin already pay 70% of the total statewide property tax levy, and whereas that disproportionate burden is about to get much worse unless the legislature addresses tax avoidance strategies that national chains like Walgreens and big box retail establishments like Target and Lowe's are using across the country to gain dramatic reductions in their property tax bills at the expense of homeowners and other taxpayers. And whereas a carefully orchestrated wave of hundreds of lawsuits in Wisconsin is forcing assessors to slash the market value of thriving national retail stores, shifting their tax burden to local mom-and-pop shops and homeowners. And whereas Walgreens and CVS stores in Wisconsin have argued in communities across the state that the assessed value of their property for property tax purposes should be less than half of their actual sale prices on the open market, and whereas in many cases the courts have sided with Walgreens and CVS, requiring communities to refund tax revenue back to the stores, and whereas there are over 200 Walgreens stores located in Wisconsin cities and villages, and whereas Target, Lowe's, Myers, Menards, and other big box chains are using what is known as the dark store theory to argue that the assessed value of a new store in a thriving location should be based on comparing their buildings to sales of vacant stores in abandoned locations from a different market segment. And whereas the Republican-controlled Indiana State Legislature has on 2 occasions in the last 2 years overwhelmingly passed legislation prohibiting assessors from valuing new big box stores the same as nearly abandoned stores from a different market segment, and whereas the Michigan State House overwhelmingly passed similar legislation in May 2016. Now therefore be it resolved that the Common Council of the City of Onalaska urges the governor and the legislature to protect homeowners and Main Street businesses from having even more of the property tax burden shifted to them by passing legislation clarifying that leases are appropriately factored into the valuation of leased properties, and when using the comparable sale method of valuation, assessors shall consider as comparables only those sales within the same market segment exhibited in similar highest and best use, rather than similarly sized but vacant properties in abandoned locations. Dated this 14th day of March, 2017. Go ahead.
Move to approve.
Okay. Motion made by Jim Bielecki, seconded by Jim Olson to approve Resolution 17-2017. Discussion. Jim?
Only this that people do understand. I know they cite the states of Indiana and Michigan here too, but this is an epidemic that's been going on for probably 7 or 8 years now throughout the country, originated in this great state of Illinois.
Yep. Anyone else? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. Recommendations for approval and/or possible action from the following committees, commissions, and boards. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member requests removal, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in the order of business in the non-consent agenda. Anyone wishing to remove anything from the consent agenda? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Motion made by Jim Bielecki, seconded by Jim Banash to approve the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Non-consent agenda, there is no recap because we did not pull anything from the consent agenda. Finance Council.
7A is vouchers for the month, and that is the amount of $1,959,038.61. Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Jim Bielecki, seconded by Jim Olson to approve vouchers. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion carries.
Your resolution 7B, Resolution 16-2017, to award the sale of $3,295,000 general obligation corporate purpose bonds. And before we get into that, Brad Vigot is with here just to review his bond sale.
Hello, I'm Brad Vigut with Robert Baird & Company, the financial advisor for the city. The city accepted bids this morning, and there's a packet on your desks that outlines the bids. So bids are accepted up until 10 o'clock on the bond issue. This bond issue, again, is to fund capital improvement program of the city. There's a small piece that is not funded with the bond issue that's going to be funded with a state trust fund loan. The bottom line, you were almost able to issue this 20 years at below 3%. You didn't quite get there. You're at 3.01, so very, very low interest rates. You may remember a month ago when I was at this meeting, we talked about a 3.22 for planning purposes. This next page of the financing packet that I handed out is a summary of the resolution. All of the terms here are consistent with what we talked about for the initial authorization last month. In general, this is a 20-year repayment with the first principal payment beginning next year. The detailed plan of finance is attached. I ran some of the numbers. The overall structure is as presented last month. The total cost, however, is $150,000 less. So that's a savings directly to the city taxpayers. And then finally, there's a complete rating report from Moody's Investors Service that was distributed. You may recall you were in the marketplace with a refinancing just a few months ago, back in December, middle of December. No significant change at all to the rating report. Moody's assigned the AA2 rating, which is a very high credit quality rating. No significant changes to the languages, but just in terms of your strengths, Moody's is citing the economy of the region, your moderately sized tax base, multi-year trends of growth, and solid reserve levels. So all of those factors are leading to the AA2. Overall, excellent results today, and I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Jim?
With that said, I don't have any questions. I'm going to make a motion to approve Resolution 16-2017, which approves the sale of the bonds to Doherty and Company LLC at a rate of 3.0115%, being the low bidder. And then, of course, the appropriate amount is the $3,295,000.
Second.
Motion made by Jim Bialecki, second by Harvey Bertrand, to approve Resolution 16-2017. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify, roll call, excuse me.
Harvey Bertrand.
Aye.
Jim Bialecki.
Aye.
Jim Olson.
Aye.
Jim Benash.
Aye.
Bob Muth.
Aye.
Motion carries. Personnel Committee.
Okay, 8A is review and consideration of the law enforcement mutual assistance agreement between the Village of West Salem and the City of Onalaska. Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Jim Bialecki, second by Jim Olson, to approve. Discussion.
Chief, is there any highlights you wish to share with the whole council?
The only issue was whether the wording changes that West Salem requested were going to be okay, and we heard that they're fine. So as written is good.
Thank you.
Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Judiciary Committee.
Thank you, Your Honor. Item A, Ordinance 1582-2017 to amend Section 10, Chapter 4 of Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Onalaska related to social hosting. This is third and final reading. I make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Jim Benash, to approve Ordinance 1582-2017. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Administrative Committee.
Item A, approval of operators' licenses as listed on the report dated March 8th, 2017. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Bob Muse, seconded by, excuse me, Jim Benash, the approval of operators' license as listed on report March 8th, 2017, excuse me. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item B, approval of special events permits for, do we want to do all these at once, or?
Can we do them all? We can do them all at
Make
once.
a motion all at once. Item A is March for Babies, March of Dimes Run Walk on April 29th, 2017, starting at the Raup Park from approximately 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. B, marching band practice for the Luther High School for the following dates: 4/24/17, 5/30/17, 7/1/17, 7/14/17, 8/21/17, 10/13/17, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., utilizing nearby neighborhood streets as outlined on the application. C, Memorial Day Parade for the American Legion on May 29th, 2017, from approximately 8:45 to 10 a.m. And D, Fleece Nightfall Frolic on April 21st, 2017, started at 6:30 p.m., Raup Park. I'll make a motion to approve those. Second.
Motion made by Bob. Was that you, Harvey, with the second? Harvey with the second, to approve items big B, little a, little b, little c, and little d. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Just,
Oh, excuse me.
we have a discussion
Discussion.
on just one of the, on little b. I know that this is on Wilson Street,
and it happens to be a very busy street, and I would just caution the marching band to make sure that they do have the proper people in place to avoid traffic at these times, because I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it, I'm just saying that because of the area that they've chosen to march through, it could be kind of hazardous for everybody. So hopefully they have enough people in place to watch out for the traffic that they've got in that area at that time.
So noted. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item C, approval of 2016-2017 combination Class A beer and liquor license for Scogan's Food Liner Incorporated, DBA Festival Foods, 2060 Crossing Meadows Drive, Onalaska, Wisconsin, 54650, from April 1, 17 to June 30th, 17. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Bob Muth, seconded by Jim Benash. Approval of combination Class A beer and liquor license for Scogan's Food Liners, doing business as Festival Foods. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item D, approval of burial of cremains for Patricia Schroeder with her mother, Annadelle Capper, in Block 91, Lot 6, Grave 2, in the City of Onalaska Cemetery. Make a motion to approve.
Second. Motion made by Bob Muth, seconded by Harvey Bertrand to approve burial of cremains for Pat Schroeder and her mother, Annadelle Capper. Discussion. Jim.
This is not uncommon that this practice takes place, so this is not an unusual event.
Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Plan Commission.
Item A, consideration of a request to amend a conditional use permit, CUP, to allow the construction of a 1,248 square foot building addition to the south and eastern sides of the existing structure at 1430, 1434, 1438 Main Street, Onalaska, in a single-family and/or duplex residential R2 zoning district, submitted by Jeff Oswald on behalf of Mageo, M-A-J-E-O, LLC, 410 Country Club Lane, Onalaska, Wisconsin, 54650, with the 6 listed conditions from the Plan Commission on the report dated February 28, 2017, tax parcel number 18-1026-0. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Bob Muth, seconded by Jim Bielecki to approve the CUP for the stated parcel 18-1026-0. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Closed session, to consider a motion to convene in closed session under Section 19.85, Parent 1, Parent E of the Wisconsin statutes for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require. In this case, review of negotiation of a city administrator contract and contract language. And under Section 19.85, Parent 1, Parent G of the Wisconsin statutes for the purpose of conferring with legal counsel or the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is likely to become involved, in this case, a claim regarding a slip and fall on a city mat. If any action is required in open session as a result of the closed session, the Common Council will reconvene in open session to take the necessary action and/or continue on with the printed agenda.
Motion to go into close.
Second.
Motion made by Jim Olson, seconded by Jim Bielecki to go into closed session. Roll call.
Harvey Bertrand.
Aye.
Bob Muth,
Aye.
Jim Olson,
Aye.
Jim Benash,
Aye?
Jim Bilecki.
Aye.
We are in closed session as of 7:30.